When you add be you plus live your purpose, what do you get? Joy. That's the motto of Unstuck Joy with Vicki Todd. Vicki believes you were born with gifts that you're meant to use to make the world a brighter place. Have you ever wondered, is this all life has to offer? There must be more. If you answer yes, then Unstuck Joy is the show for you. Each show will feature a memoir artwork painted by Vicki that taps into universal themes of evolution, hope, inner strength, and self-growth. Vicki will also ask listeners to play along. Draw, doodle, collage, write, and or paint your way to soul clarity with Art Vision Journaling. Unstuck Joy will compel you to tune into your soul's whispers to realize your unique dreams. Get ready to get unstuck.
Hey everybody, wow, we are so excited today. And yeah, what are we talking about? Vicki Todd is in the house. We're not just talking, but we're painting.
Yay!
Woo! Hey, for people that haven't really seen the show, let's just take a moment to recap. We're talking about Unstuck Joy with you, but it's the art of living on purpose, right? So what does this mean, for you as this continues to unfold? And today's topic is so very important. The superpowers that we can unlock. And of course, this is in the wave of what? Superwoman. But tell us a little bit about the show. And today, it's also very unique about what's going to unfold in front of us.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Unstuck Joy is about just that. It's about moving closer and closer to who your true self is. And that means being really connected with your higher power, consciously creating the best life, the life of your dreams, really having your hands in the clay of your life, co-creating with the universe, and not just sitting back and waiting for something to happen. So being proactive, using your gifts, what I'm calling today your superpowers, to make the world a brighter place. And so by getting closer and closer to living that on a daily basis, that's going to give you unstuck joy.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about.
Totally nailed it about living on a daily basis, because, I don't know about you, but I think we go through spurts throughout our lives where we get in the flow and we got that mojo going on. But what you're talking about is it could be like that every day.
Yes.
Every day.
And it takes, all it is a shift. It's a shift in perception. It's a shift in habit. It's a shift in thought. And part of what we're going to talk about today, one of the tips to really amplify your superpowers is to use superpower statements, the power of I am. So I am, whatever you put after that is going to come after you. And so it's just that thing of changing your thoughts, changing your habits, changing what you do every day. And so the shift can be that you live superpower life more than that average mediocre life.
Right. And the reason we're talking about it is that even if we don't say the words, like we're not saying like I am, even if we don't say it, our mind.
Yes.
So yeah, we could be totally self-confident on the outside, but our mind is saying loser.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
have a great story about that, Pat.
All right, tell us.
Okay. So our last show last month, it was a really great show. We were talking about, your true self values and all of that. Well, inside my brain, not the whole show, but during parts of the show, my ego monkey mind was saying, oh, your energy's down today. Oh, nobody's watching this. Oh, does this message really matter? And so after the show was over, I was nervous to watch the video because I thought, oh my God, how did this come across? And so I took a break. I came back to it. I watched the video. And the person I saw on the video was engaged. She was totally tuned in. She was like really joyful. And I thought, oh my God, that was my true self on the video. But my ego mind had all these negative thoughts. That's the first time I've seen the separation, like Eckhart Tolle talks about in The Power of Now. You are not those thoughts. And so to be able to see the personality in my head versus the personality on screen, two totally different things. And so that's helped me to realize, oh my gosh, that loop is going again. How can you turn that around? So if you can catch the thoughts as it's happening, then you can say, that's not me. I'm not that thought. How can I turn that around to say, I am powerful. I am blessed. I am talented.
Yeah. And it's funny because I got an email from somebody about the show we did. And one of the emails I got commented on the cup I was drinking out of, because I drink tea, and I'm afraid to pick the cup up and show you the logo on it. I can't show you the logo because I'll get in trouble. But I was picking this cup up, and it's a big cup.
Right.
And I got emails about, well, why are you drinking out of a plastic cup? Everything, and it's really a big cup, and should you be drinking out my coffee? Okay, so here's the truth about this cup. This is a giant cup. Its inside is stainless steel, and I infuse green tea. This is, even though it looks like a coffee cup, it's one of the best sizes, stainless steel inside, right? No plastic, no aluminum. And it is a local brand cup. And that's how the person knew that on the East Coast, this is a very popular cup that people use for coffee. And if I should say donuts, but we're not going to say who you are. But the point is, I went back and I explained it. So, we don't know who's either watching live. And I don't know if you know this, that once it's done, it's still there.
Oh, yeah. And it's all over the world. And so that is so cool. It's a really cool thing.
Well, tell us about today, and how this is going to unfold, because, we're going to talk about how do we get this insight to be you, to live on purpose, but you're doing it through art.
Yes. And so, and I have to credit you for this, Pat, because when we were planning the show and I had mentioned Artist Heroine, is the subtitle of both of my books. And you said, oh, that's really great. Why don't you play around with that? So I created an Artist Heroine manifesto. And can I read it really quickly?
Yes.
Okay. So the Artist Heroine manifesto, and I have it on my website as well. It says, I am an artist heroine. I listen deeply to the guidance of source energy and intuitively co-create my ultimate life vision with source energy, the same energy that aligns the starry galaxies and causes the jellyfish to emit their translucent light into the ocean depths. I was born with beautiful gifts, my superpowers that are unique to me. My life purpose is to use these gifts to make the world a brighter place. If I conceal my superpowers, I'm doing the world a grave injustice because no one else can bring forth my unique light. I strive to remain in an emotional state of unstuck joy, love, and gratitude to manifest into my true self and create the life I desire. I tend my emotional garden each day by courageously pruning limiting beliefs, circumstances, and relationships that block me from blooming into my best self. I acknowledge that my birthright is unstuck joy, abundance, creativity, and prosperity. I am the powerful artist creator of my unique life vision. I am an artist heroine. And so that's my hope today, is that we can take that in, and on a daily basis, how can I co-create with the universe, really tap in, make those decisions to say, oh, that's a limiting belief. How can I shift that? Or here's a circumstance in my life. What are many steps I can take to go around that or through that and get to a better place, my true self place? So on today's Art Vision prompt, we're going to create our own artist heroine. And so this is kind of silly, but it's fun and it's really powerful and impactful. And so my artist heroine is this little plant person. It can be anything. It could be an angel. It could be a spirit. It could be whatever. So she's deeply rooted in her true self. Out her head is kind of like Medusa with snakes, except for it's a little bit nicer. It's all these flowers blooming out. And these are my unique superpowers of my story of two life flips, teaching what I learn, my art, my writing, encouraging others, my ladybug of intuition that is connected to my grandmother, because being connected to your intuition gives you the freedom to live as your true self. And the way she uses these superpowers is she plucks one of the flower bombs out of her head and throws it. It's an Unstuck Joy flower bomb with the purpose of helping get not only herself unstuck, but others out there, the listeners out there, the people who come to my workshops or read my books. And by doing that, my hope is that we will all start to gravitate toward our own superpowers and live the life that we were put on this planet to live. And so that's my artist heroine.
Wow, she's absolutely amazing. And what I love about this is you're going to help us create our own.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
going
And
to
so I'm
help
going to
us
create
create
another
our
one
own.
today. And I
Right.
have all of the information of how you can do this on my website on vickyworldart.com. There's an art vision prompt, and underneath that is, the art visioning prompt, and underneath that is art vision prompt. And so this one is called Create Your Artist Heroine. And I have a list of questions to help you kind of, figure out who your artist heroine is. And this was just done with magic marker. You can use crayon. I'm going to collage today. And so it's going to be
Sweet.
cool. Yay.
Well, let's take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to really be talking about, and something that Vicki does, which is kind of super amazing. She actually talks and creates art at the same time.
It's
That's like tapping
chewing
your
gum
head.
and walking.
Absolutely.
Tap, rub.
Absolutely. And for those of you, this is streaming on Facebook Live, on Transformation Talk Radio. Also, we've posted it to the Dr. Pat Show, as well as transformationradio.fm. You can watch this live on Facebook right now, or you're listening through multiple stations. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. The Transformation Network, for me, is a place where we get to provide people with that opportunity to step in to the world of possibilities. The galaxy of the infinite. The Transformation Network is going to grow exponentially because of all of the people that are saying yes to joining us. I hope you'll be one of them. I hope you will come join us, so that together we'll be able to create a place where people go beyond inspiration, go beyond education, and become conscious contributors and change agents in the world.
Hey everybody, I want to super duper welcome you to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By.
Hi everybody, and welcome back this week to Wonderful Angels and Answers with Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegel. You're with us, baby.
I'm having such a good time.
Would you pass me one of those donuts?
Hello, I'm Dr. Jen, and welcome to the show today.
Hi, this is Colette Marie Steffen, and you are listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to Get Sophisticated with Sophisticated Guys.
Well, welcome back to Voices of Women, and I'm Chris Stanis.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Christine Upchurch Show, where we have stellar conversations to illuminate your journey.
And I would like to invite each of you, if you have a purpose, if you have a passion, if you don't really know how to get that out into the world, join our radio family. We are so in awe of all of what you have done, all that you continue to do. And that's why we've created an opportunity for all of you to join us. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm here with Vicki Todd. And
Hi.
This is another segment of an amazing show. First of all, let me tell you, if you have any questions at all, a couple ways to get your questions to us. One, dial our toll-free number, 1-800-930-2819. Mr. Benny will get all over that call because he is so good at that. Or you can send us a message on Facebook, our Facebook page at Transformation Talk Radio, or you can go to the Dr. Pat Show, or any other way that you follow us. And someday I'm going to get really educated about all of this, but it's not going to be today. Or go to Transformation Talk Radio, and there's a place there to put your question in there, and we'll get it on air. We're talking about the heroine, developing superpowers. How do we do that? So now we're going to learn from Vicki, how do we strengthen our superpowers? And I got to tell you about Vicki. She does a great workshop, and these workshops help people do exactly this. And at the end of the workshop, what do they have? They have amazing pictures, ways that they are following, what she calls a vision prompt, but more importantly, she's going to tell you about that. Today, though, do you actually believe that you have superpowers? What if I were to tell you that you're born with them, that they're inside of you? Everybody out there, you're born with them. So then if you're born with them and they're not activated, just like Wonder Woman's was not really, in the movie, they had to be cultivated. That's what they did. They worked with her and boom, one day there she was, but she had it in her. So Vicki, this is what this is about. I mean, we've got them in us, but how do we strengthen? What do we do?
Okay, so I've got two main ways today to strengthen them. And the first way is follow your curiosity. And I have a really great story that happened in fall of 2015. It was a few months, I had, just resigned from my professor position. I was still in Connecticut, had no idea at the time that I was about to move to Washington State. And I went to dinner with another professor friend, and she and I had been in the same boat. We were both tenured professors, both chair of our department, and, all this responsibility. The universities, were going through a shift, a lot of financial things. And so the job was getting tougher. And we had both just read Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, about following your curiosity, to find your purpose. And so this lady, my friend, said, I read the book, and what I discovered is I've totally lost all of my curiosity. I am in survival mode, not just at my job, but in my life. And I only have 7 more years until retirement that I have to get through. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I literally had a pit in my stomach, and it bothered me for the next 2 days. I thought, this is so sad. But if she's looking at that destiny of retirement, it's going to be this wonderful thing, but it's going to be miserable for the next 7 years, trudging through no curiosity and survival mode. That's not having a good Unstuck Joy life. Yeah. And so I'm not promoting that she pick up that close to retirement and totally quit her job and do something else. But if she had followed curiosity to try to weave it in, that can really light up your life. And that can help you find your superpowers. And I'm defining superpowers as the gifts that you're born with, that you're meant to use to make the world a brighter place. But if you're in survival mode with your head down, you're not doing any of that, and how miserable and sad, I think. And so how do you find your curiosity? Think about anything that really lights you up emotionally, intellectually, really sets your mind and your heart and your soul on fire, and ask those questions. Why am I curious? Why does this inspire me? What are the possibilities around this? And just simple questions like that can help you find these little breadcrumb clues to, maybe it's just to have a joyful Saturday, but that's a start into building that into a daily routine. So part of that is, and I just read the book, what is it called? Die Empty, meaning you have gifts inside yourself and don't die with the gifts still inside. And so they talk about paying attention to the downtime. And I have to admit, I will raise my hand. I'm the first one during TV commercials or in the car during traffic or, in the line at the grocery store. I immediately go to my Facebook, right? But if you put down the phone and pay attention, that's when the universe is trying to catch you that, oh, they're not busy. I'm going to send them this idea of inspiration. So if you can kind of pay attention, be in the moment in the downtime, that can be a time when you find this idea that you say, oh, that's really exciting. That really kind of lights me up and makes me happy. That would be an idea to follow for curiosity's sake.
That's so funny that we're talking about this because, I'm not a super Facebook person. I mean, I will spend some time. I have multiple Facebook pages, but the bottom line is I love playing table tennis. And, I played in my 20s and I'm playing again. And so what I do in the grocery line is I go to YouTube. And I go to the YouTube channel where they teach you certain things. So I literally am now watching how to serve a certain way. So I'm like using the YouTube, right? In line, right? Especially a long line. If it's a short line, I just talk to people, which is annoying. But if I have to wait in some sort of place, that's what I'm mostly interested in, is looking at that. And I'm curious to find out, how has the game changed,
Right.
in decades,
And
right?
that's your joy.
It
That's
is.
your joy.
It is. And we do the same with the network. I mean, we interviewed somebody this week. You'll love this. And we interviewed somebody this week that's talking about how we need to be more enacting artificial intelligence into what we do for people.
Right.
And so Jessica and I were talking about this, and we're listening to the interview. And what we discovered is we are doing that. So we don't just do radio shows anymore.
Right.
We provide information to people, so that if we're doing a show like this today, this interaction in Facebook, and then you letting people know how they can do this, is more than us just talking, isn't it?
Right. And so obviously with the Facebook Live and the YouTube video, and it can go anywhere and everywhere, that's a really awesome thing. And so that's you using your superpowers at transformationtalkradio.com to really spread a message in a unique way that maybe more visual people, want to tie into it more than just listening to regular quote unquote radio. So that's really cool.
That's one of the hardest times we have, Vicki, is, and you've helped us with this, but one of the most difficult things we have is that we're seen as a radio show and radio network, and we actually do much more than that and have not figured out how to talk about it. So maybe we need to create an image like this about it.
Maybe so.
I just got that idea.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah. And so that's what it's all about, with, paying attention to the down moments and those little seeds of inspiration. And another way to do that is, Joseph Campbell called it creating a bliss station.
Yeah.
Twyla Tharp, the choreographer, called it taking away the barrier between you and what you love to do. And so, like for me, I have an art space, an art studio in my garage. It's part garage, part art studio, and part workout center. And so, but having a place to write, or even if it's just to have a room where you can put sticky notes all over the wall and do a mind map and just ponder these creative ideas that you've had, and just maybe journal, take notes, and think about, how could I do this? And you don't need to know the how. The universe can download the how to you. But why am I interested in this? What are the possibilities? And what little mini steps can I take to get there? Because you don't have to do it all at once. And I think that's kind of a barrier for people, like, oh, I can never do that. That's way too overwhelming. Just take one little mini step at a time and ask the universe for help, with that. And it will definitely give you the how. So, having that place to say, I'm going to just have 15 minutes on maybe the morning or the evening, whenever is your good thinking time, to just let these things download and not be so in tuned with work or Facebook or, these other things. So I love that you look at YouTube in the grocery store line. That's pretty cool.
One of the things that you help people do is, listen, maybe I don't know my superpowers, but, for those of you that haven't seen the Wonder Woman movie, well, she didn't know her superpowers either. But if we don't know them, what's the best way to have them revealed? How do we do that?
Yeah. I have a link on today's Art Vision Prompt page where I had written a blog probably a year ago. I was reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and she had an exercise that she suggested that you, at your age now, write a letter to your inner child, your inner 8-year-old, and to your elder version of yourself, your 80-year-old. And so I kind of twisted that a little bit. And instead of me at this age talking to them, I had them talk to me. And so I remember this memory that I remember through my mom telling it, of being a 6-year-old kid. Please don't laugh, because, I'm from Happy, Texas, the town without a frown. And we had the Little Miss Happy beauty contest, right? And so I'm on stage, and the judge, he was actually a professional artist. I think he's still around, a Western artist named Kenneth Wyatt. And so he says, Vicki, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be an artist. And so my mom said that people in the audience kind of giggled a little bit and asked her afterwards, did you coach Vicki to say that because the judge is an artist? And she said, no. But, my grandmother was an artist. My aunt is an artist. And so I knew as that little person, that's what I was meant to do. And that got kind of pounded out of me for a few years, because it wasn't until the age of 47 that I thought, where did that go, And so, but those things that lit you up as a child, those are breadcrumb clues to your superpowers, what your purpose is in life. Turn that around. I just imagined me at the age of 80, which I think will be 2045. And I'm living in Santa Fe and I'm creating my art. And so I wrote a little story about me at this age, traveling there and sitting with my 80-year-old self and what she told me. And so, she's like, you have more books in you, write your books, you have your art. And I had one of those down, kind of pay attention to the universe moments 3 years ago, because I'm a bathtub reader at night. I'll take a bubble bath and read books. And so it was spring break 2014, this idea downloaded, because I just started Vicki World Art and I had my memoir portraits with the blog, to tell the story behind each one. That's all I had. And I thought, what if I could turn that into a stage play like Vagina Monologues, with these little vignettes? Well, then that kind of turned into, maybe you could write a book, and interview other artists, and maybe someday that could turn into a documentary. Well, I just started writing this week on my first chapter. I've done 14 interviews with artists around the world to start that book. And I'm going to Frankfurt in October, because a publisher has invited my first book, Unstuck, to be displayed at the Frankfurt Book Fair. And at the book fair, there's also going to be film people. So that would be my opportunity to at least ask questions about how a documentary works, because I've done community theater, but I don't know how to write a play. But that's the thing, is let the universe show you how, the people that can teach you those things, or, the online classes or whatever. So that's following your curiosity and seeing where it goes. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I cannot believe you're talking about this. When we come back, I'm going to show you how your energy, and one of our other hosts, tell you who she is when we come back, actually had what you're talking about happen. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to talk to her. Let's take a short break, everybody. Vicki Todd in the house, Unstuck Joy Radio. When we come back, you see that picture in the background? More to be revealed. We'll be right back.
Some talk radio networks broadcast whatever they want to, whether the vibration is high or low, without regard for another's journey. They focus on the problem and not the solution. Other networks tune in to the highest vibration possible to help us live life full out, to help us stand in our yes, and cultivate a platform for positive change.
Hey everybody, how's it going? You're with Artie and Sky, the dynamic duo.
Hello, this is Colette Marie Steffen. Welcome to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio.
You're listening to The Human Experience. I'm Dr. Steve Maraboli.
Hello, this is Dr. Nusheen Darvish. And hi, I'm Dr. Pat Basili, and you are listening to Lyme Talk Radio.
These networks don't come often. But when they do, they remind us that we can achieve anything that is possible. To help ourselves, to help others, and to help the planet.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Jeff Lineweaver, and you're listening to Dialogue Radio.
Hello and welcome to the Psychic Love Doctor Show.
Hey everybody, it is so great. I'm Dr. Pat. Thank you so much for joining us.
This is Dr. Ronnie, your host.
Hi everyone, and welcome to We Carry the Light. I'm Dr. Susan.
Hi, this is Chuck Gallagher with Straight Talk Radio.
These networks aren't concerned with bombarding us with bad news. They aren't concerned with sensationalizing an individual setbacks or challenges. These networks focus on amazing, innovative broadcasting.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be back here with you today. I'm Dr. Jen.
Oh, welcome to Voices of Women.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Ballard.
They provide a distinct blend of live talk radio interviews with a mix of uplifting and intelligent educational information.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Psychic World. I am indeed John G. Sutton.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Kelly, and you are listening to Lucid Planet Radio.
Hello there. This is Leslie Fontaine. This is Sheer Alchemy.
These innovative networks remind us that everything is possible, that nothing is limited.
Habits of Health Talk with Russ McCann.
Welcome to Spirit Fire Radio. I'm Tim Darter. And I'm Steve Kramer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Christine Upchurch Show.
Transformation Radio is one of these networks.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you...
I'm totally happy. Just happy.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Well, Vicki, before we jump into talking about asking big.
Yes.
Because we're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about what you just said and how it's so showing up for one of our hosts as well as for you, because you are the story of that, and now we're doing it. How can people find out more about you? But tell us about how they can get involved and follow along as we're doing these shows.
Yes. So my website is vickiworldart.com, VICKI worldart.com. And on the menu, I have an art visioning link, and underneath that is art vision prompts. And so it lists the prompt for every episode of Unstuck Joy with an art prompt like we're doing today. And so this prompt is called Create Your Artist Heroine. And so I have a list of questions that you can go through. You know, what does your artist heroine look like? Is it a plant? Is it something else in nature, an animal, a fairy, you know, an angel, a spirit, a voice? And think about what those superpowers are. And like we talked about before, you know, if you're unsure, visit your inner 8-year-old, visit your future elder warriors. What are those things that really light you up? You know, the things that you loved as a child, those are clues to what your superpowers are. And so how do you use the superpowers? You know, like I showed on mine before, she plucks the flowers out of her head and throws these bombs of, you know, flower unstuck joy. And so I also have questions like, what limiting beliefs do you need to shed? And for me, it would be to say, oh, you know, maybe my story is not that important. Maybe nobody cares. Get rid of that. You know, yes, people do care. Or what do you need to allow? I went to an event the other day that was about, you know, really tapping into your intuition, and we were reading each other. And this guy that was reading me said, if you could only see all the souls around you that want you to succeed. And I started crying, but I thought that's what I need to allow, is to know the universe is behind me and that it's behind everybody. And so things like that. And so you're just going to create this little cute, you know, artist heroine, but it's with the superpowers that you were born with that you can use to make the world brighter. And so we're going to talk about a really powerful way next of how to enhance those superpowers.
Well, and you know, part of this too is when we think about what asking big is, I think we have to stop and then go through the next layer that says, now ask bigger. Now ask bigger.
Yes.
Because we're so used to compromising our vision, our lives, our soul purpose. We do it naturally because we've developed some thoughts about what they should or shouldn't be. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and somebody who had never thought in a million years that she would be so absolutely activated and engaged to run for public office. Wow. Never in a million years did she say that would be anything that she would do. And so she's joined this part of this other organization of women now who are coming together to run for office.
Wow.
And she said her family came up to her and said, why are you going to do that? You don't have any experience in that. You don't have this. You don't have that. You don't have a law degree. You don't have this.
That doesn't matter.
Well, that was what she turned around and said, have you been keeping up on current events? She said, hello. Yeah, we actually, yeah. So what she's doing is she's taking the steps to do that.
And she has that passion.
She's got that passion. And you know how you have your prompts?
Yes.
There are prompts, questions for that people or organizations will ask us for just about anything we want to do to help us do that thing.
Right.
And I think we give up before we even explore. And I think what you're saying is we have to explore.
Yes. And I love what you said about the ask big. You know, when you get to a point, ask even bigger. I was kind of the opposite way. Where I found this idea was I was reading Joel Osteen's book, Think Better, Live Better.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about don't have the weak ask, because whatever you ask for is what you get. And so if you ask limited, you're going to receive limited. And I actually thought to myself, oh my gosh, are we allowed to ask big? Is that okay? And so, you know, because that's just not something that was instilled in me as a child. You know, it was always, you know, do your best and, you know, succeed. But the whole thing of asking big. And so, for example, you know, if you're in a job that you're not really enjoying and maybe you've got grumpy coworkers, a weak ask, you know, mediocre ask would be, you know, oh, please just help me get through this week and help me to be able to deal with these people. But a big ask, you know, maybe if you have an idea, you know, that, oh, I really would like to start my own business. That's the big ask, is instead of just staying in this job and, you know, being confined week to week to week and being like my professor friend who's lost the curiosity and is in survival mode, say, hey, universe, I have this dream. Because the universe gave you the dream to begin with, right? And so I have this dream. Show me how to follow through with that. So that's a big ask. And what I love about that is he said that especially when you use your dreams to help others, the universe really comes in and amplifies that ask. And so like you guys are doing with Transformation Talk Radio, like I'm doing with Unstuck Joy, it's not just for me, you know, to live Unstuck Joy, it's to try to help others. And so that really amplifies the universe with that big ask. And he said also, it's up to us to trigger the process. The universe is waiting for the invitation for us to invite it in. And so we have to say, I'm willing to ask. And I haven't been a good asker, because sometimes I think, oh no, you know, am I worthy enough of that or whatever? No, the universe wants you to say, please help me with this and let's do it big. So I thought that was so cool.
Well, can I share a story while you're drawing?
Sure.
Because this is exactly what happened in using your technique and using what you've developed. And it happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
I prepare for every show. So I read these, we look at the images. You know what? I just don't show up here like I don't. I really do homework. I
believe you.
It's who I am.
Yes.
So yesterday I had to take my car, my Nissan, in. And I thought, well, wait a minute. Where do I want to go? I don't want to go all the way to Bellevue since I have to go up to Everett anyway. And so I didn't know there was like a Nissan up in, Everett, Washington. And I thought, I called them. They said, yeah, come on in. I came in, dropped my car in. They had to fix, I don't know, something with the software. And I thought, I'm just going to poke around. You know, I owned one of the first 300Z X's that came out back in the day, as Benny would say. So I thought, I'm going to look around. You know, last go around, I leased cars. Last go around, I wanted a SUV, I guess, of all-wheel drive. But some strange things happened at the dealership that I went to in Bellevue. And so, but I've read this story that we were going to do today. So I'm thinking, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look. And I go in, Vicki, and I look, and I stop by this Nissan Rogue. And I loved it. It was beautiful, everything about it. And I had a moment where I looked at the price tag. And I almost walked away. And I thought, no, I'm going to stay here because we're doing this show tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Greg of Campbell Nissan up in Everett, these guys are great. Walked up to me and really nice. He said, hey, you know, blah, 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 you like it. Next thing I do, I'm sitting down talking with him. And I remembered the show today.
Right.
And I laid out exactly what I wanted for the price I wanted.
Yes.
For the lease rate I wanted.
Right.
For everything I wanted. Can you take my car in 2 months early before my lease is up? Everything I wanted. I laid it out. I've never had a car experience like this. Greg, the gentleman that I was these people I was working with, and then Anju Mehta, the finance, here's what happened in 30 minutes. He puts it in the computer. He shows me it, shows me the model online, everything, lays it out, and comes back and he says, we don't fool around. This is what you want. The other gentleman comes in and we're talking about the radio show and I'm telling him about you and this whole thing about why I'm doing this. and realistically, on paper, and let's skip the break so we can finish this. No way should this have happened the way it did. That I would meet two great guys up there in Everett at Campbell, tell them what I want, no games, no back and forth and that. Greg goes and gets the other guy to come in, and I'm sitting down with Anju, with Mr. Mehta, talking about it, and I said, I got a couple of questions though. One is, can you give me a deal on a car? Because now they've given me everything I wanted, by the way, everything, yes. The whole rate, the monthly rate, but I still had it. But I'm thinking about you, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why didn't you ask about the price? And so, right? So they're both laughing. And so then the general sales manager walks out of the room, and then he comes back and he shows me two prices. And he says, this is the car price. This is our cost price, $1,500. And he said to me, you tell me what you want to pay.
Oh.
I have never had. So here's what happened to me. $1,500 on a price markup, that is not a lot of money. And I looked at Greg and I said, no, I don't want any discount. You have given me the monthly rate I want, the amount I wanted to put down. You're going to give me special free service features. You're going to take my car back. I don't have to replace my windshield that's cracked. Right? You're going to pay 2 months up. You're going to give me 0%. I went through the list and I said, no, I don't want that. He walks out of the room, comes back and gives me a lower monthly rate.
Woohoo.
Now, isn't that what you're talking about? I mean, it's a benign example when you
but
think
that's
about
important.
The thing.
Yeah.
But this is and all I kept seeing was your face. So can you explain that now to our listeners?
I'm not sure if I can explain that, but that's really cool. And like you said, that's, I don't want to say that's an everyday, thing, because buying a car is an important thing. And so this whole thing of ask big, I thought, okay, this is the first show that we've done since I've learned the ask big. So hey, universe, make this a really powerful show. Let it reach a ton of people out there and really get people to live their true self joy, to live their superpowers. And so anything, even finding a parking place, I really would like a good parking place today, universe, help me out. So it can go small, it can go big. But with what we're talking about, especially today, the superpowers, the gifts that we were born with, like my art, that was something that I had learned growing up. Oh, that's a frivolous hobby. Do that after retirement. That's really what my life is about, is to do this art thing. And it's morphing into these different things, whether it's a book, I could see the stage play, having, the art as the backdrops, the documentary, all that kind of stuff. And so when you start with these small little Scooby bites, I'll call them, of following your curiosity or having, the idea that I'm going to ask big with this car deal, why not? Then it starts growing into things. You start seeing the manifestation. Then you've drunk the Kool-Aid, right? Because I bet you're going to go, and the next thing that you do, you'll say, I'm going to see how this works. Let's play universe. I'm going to ask big again, right? So absolutely.
Well, if I can't do that, this is really where I need your feedback, and because we're talking about, we got to create our artist heroine, art vision journaling. If I can't, when that gentleman, Greg Kinism, walks up to me, right, and he sees me looking at this car, which was perfect, everything I wanted. Linda and I disagree on the color. I like the color, but walks up to the car and starts to chat with me, and I have the moment of fear, which I did have.
Yes,
that moment of,
But you made the choice to put away those fear thoughts. That's not me, that's not my thought. And to say, what if, we're talking about this tomorrow, let me test it out. So that was that little change of perception that was so simple in that moment. But yeah, it would have been really easy to fall back in kind of the rut to say, oh no, I'm not going to bother him with that. Right. But you said, no, I'm going to try it. Just that one little toe in the water, and look where it got.
Do you want to hear the kicker? Here's the kicker. We start to talk about this $1,500. And Mr. Maida, the general manager, says to me, I don't know if you know this, but we give a portion of our profits to the hungry and the homeless. Did you see our blah, blah, blah organization? I'm telling you, I'm sitting there buying a car and I'm crying.
Wow. And that's what we just said, is when you do the big ask to follow your dreams and add on the extra thing of how can it help others, that the universe really wants to help you with that.
Yeah.
And so what a wonderful thing. It's the ripple effect, or the butterfly effect, or the little butterfly wings and ripple, 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 and affects people, thousands of miles away. And that's what we're doing with Transformation Talk Radio. And
well, that's what we're doing with your work, because, so how can we now talk with the folks listening here? I know we've got a few minutes left, but I want to talk with them about how they can get engaged.
Okay. So start with this art visioning prompt of going to my website, vickiworldart.com, go to art visioning, underneath the art vision prompts. This one is Create Your Artist Heroine. And I have a list of questions to ask. What does your artist heroine look like? I give some examples. What are the superpowers? How does she use these superpowers? And be silly. Be silly with this, because you saw mine. It was really silly. And what are the impacts of her superpowers on you, on herself and the world? What limiting beliefs do you need to shed? What do you need to allow to fully be your artist heroine? And how do your life experiences change when you truly live that artist heroine manifesto and that artist heroine's life? And so that's when you reach that moment of unstuck joy, and continually make those little perception shifts every day, every hour, and then will grow into every week, every month, and boom, you've got this life that is amazing, because you're using the gifts you were born with, that you're living while you're here on Earth. And so can I share what I just did?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, I created my own collage paper this time. And so I had some rice paper. You can use computer paper, sketch paper, whatever. And I just painted it, and then I used stencils to do patterns on top of it. And so that's where these wings have come from. So this is my other part of my artist heroine. And this is her superpower of her intuition compass. And so she has to really pay attention to that intuition compass. It's attached to her heart and to her third eye, intuition chakra. And that's the rainbow coming out. So she's looking down, because she's going within. And by listening to that intuition and knowing what makes her curious, following that, asking big, really co-creating, molding that clay with the universe, that allows her to bloom out into this beautiful butterfly. And then she can really, show her full power. And so her little antennas here, that's where her curiosity is, going out into the world, always trying to figure out those breadcrumbs. And so she is this beautiful butterfly that has come out of the cocoon and is living wings full out, her true self, by using the superpowers to help others.
Well, when we ask big, get ready for the unexpected.
Yes.
Because what Mr. Maida did, as we're all choked up, left the room, came back, and gave me a lower rate than what I asked for.
Yes.
Doesn't the universe respond like that?
Yes. And I bet you anything that your energy that you were putting forth, because you were thinking those positive thoughts of, let me test out these superpower things and asking big, I bet that energy made a ripple effect to cause him to come back and say, I want to help this lady. She's really cool. That's
but
how
isn't
it works.
that really the key to it? And, for me, I'm somebody that went from being homeless as a teenager. So my journey hasn't been wake up one day, go to big college. That's not me. And I will tell you that there's a part of me that has had within me an ability to ask.
Yes.
And yet at some times it's been horrifying to ask for me. Isn't that what today is about? It's to bring out the courage in each of us.
Right. Because when you ask big, you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And so that's okay. That's another ask to say, hey, universe, I have no idea how to do this. Show me how. Because we don't have to know the how. We just have to get involved with the why, the inspiration that, oh, this would be a really great idea because blank, right? And so I've been there. I've been there like my professor friend, where I was in a really crappy marriage and had not been working for 4.5 years. And I had this opportunity to go teach and then get a divorce and get my doctorate and then move. And then with my really stable professor job, thinking, gosh, you're going to quit and lose health care and, just go out and what are you going to do? How are you going to make money? And so I could have stayed small, but, I did ask the universe help. And sometimes that's the best ask is help. I don't know where else to go, because the universe wants you to grow and evolve and use those gifts, because that's why we're here.
Tell everybody how they can come and participate in your workshops and your work. Give out your website, your contact information, and certainly how can they get a copy of your book?
Okay. My website is vickiworldart.com, and I have a books link. And so you can go there and find Unstuck Joy, and that is there. I have a workshops link. And so right now, every second Saturday from 3 to 5 Pacific time in Kirkland, Washington, I'm doing the art visioning workshop at Spa Air. And since I have learned this, asking big and really, changing my thoughts toward these positive things, I have 3 other ladies that I'm working with that have asked me to collaborate with them on 3 other workshops. And so those are coming up soon.
Wow.
So thumbs up with that. I know it's really amazing. And so, and the Art Vision prompt is under the Art Visioning tab, and underneath that Art Vision prompt. And this one is Create Your Artist Heroine. And all the prompts from all the Unstuck Joy episodes are there. So if you haven't done them all, they are there with instructions of how to do it.
I love it. What a great show. I mean, just to watch what's happening with this for you, Vicki.
Yeah.
It's just such a blessing. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. And thanks to everybody out there.
And what's your personal message? What would you like to leave us with?
I think today, talking about our artist heroine is to follow that curiosity. You're really giving yourself permission to play. And sometimes that seems like, oh no, that's not productive enough. I have to be working. Allow that time to play and listen to your intuition, get into that space where the universe can get to you, and think about your thoughts. If you catch a negative thought, change it to those powerful I am statements. I am talented. I am blessed. I am prosperous. And when you ask that, or when you say those statements, look out, because whatever you put after I am is coming for you.
And to answer a text question I just got that just came to me, believe it or not, yes, it is Campbell Nissan up in Everett in Washington. And for those of you that are out of state, sorry, I don't know what to tell you about that. Vicki, thank you so much. Thank you for today. I can't wait for the next show. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, everybody. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning us in and turning us on. And remember this, sometimes being stuck is the portal to Unstuck Joy.
Yes.
You don't have to take the journey alone. Vicki's here for you. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Unstuck Joy, the art of living on purpose with Vicki Todd. This hit show is where your higher purpose is revealed and cultivated. Now you too can share your unique light and special gifts with the world. Vicki's dedication to raising your life's purpose to something extraordinary is unending. So don't miss out on your opportunity. Catch Unstuck Joy monthly with Vicki Todd and Dr. Pat Basilli. For more information about Vicki and her work, go to vickiworldart.com. That's VICKI worldart.com.